Hello and welcome to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. We are looking at AMD once again, and I hope you watched my previous video where I said that $100 was an important level on AMD. And the reason why, as you can tell, is that we have dropped ever so slightly and ever so gently below $100. And why that's significant is just psychologically. If you look on the right here, you can see in the black chart, essentially we've been following the price. That's about 9 months of total data for AMD here. Things have essentially peaked in June, and they have not looked good ever since. I don't know the reason. I don't know the catalyst. All I know is what the price is doing, and you can see it has been going down and to the right. We've essentially been bleeding out since we hit that high around, what was it, like 129, and now we're at $96. We are only up 9 basis points on Friday, which is an incredible thing to think about because this stock is probably in one of the most favored sectors, in one of the most favorite names that people feel very comfortable just buying or selling, and it seems more selling. On the 5-day rolling average, we're down 5.21%. On the 15-day, we're down 9%. On 1 month, we're down 5.5%. On 3 months, we're down 12.6%. On the 6 months, we're down 1.85%. And on the 1 year, we're still up 41%. So things, and people still feel good if you got in a whole year ago. But there's a lot of cause for concern. And I want to call out specifically that right now we have a weekly bullish, but right now we have a daily bearish. And I want to look at this specifically because if we look at the daily raw data here for AMD, this chart again going back 9 months, we can see that the price has been showing this blue lettering with the white background. That means it's 3 standard deviations below its mean. It has been below its 5-day moving average consistently since the beginning of September. The 5-day moving average is now below the 23-day moving average consistently. What we can see is in the future price path, we have a price to fall. We have had that for a while. It looks like essentially we got the price to fall back in June, and it's been flipping back and forth, but it's been more price to fall than it has been price to rise. I'll tell you that. We can see here that we essentially have seen a change. I don't know when, but exactly, but it looks like the 3-month rolling average went negative on the 17th at 104. That would have been a great signal to get out. I think I probably made a video sometime back then when it was bopping around between 100 and 110 saying it needs to break 110. If AMD can't break 110, that is a very big signal. It looks like it hit this on the first. It hit 109. It's never closed above 110 since then, and that was the signal to get out, boys and girls. That high was your opportunity because essentially what we see now is there's a trend. There's a very strong trend, and it is down. We've got go shorts in the short term, go shorts in the intermediate term, go shorts in the longer term. We look at the trend. We have bearish in the short term, bearish in the intermediate term, and bearish in the longer term as well. And we've had that for quite a while in AMD. That price, that chart, that is nothing that looks fun. Doesn't matter if you're short, doesn't matter if you're long. That is a choppy chart that essentially is just going to bleed you out of either Vega, Gamma, Delta, whatever it is that you do if you're doing options, as well as just your position if you're sitting in it long. We can look and see that we have a new falling bear that's essentially just arisen at the end of this week. Looks like we are going to see things. It's anemic. There's no demand. There's no supply. It's essentially just more trickle, sell. We look here. We've got 4. Look at the key 3 versus the key. So the bear key 3 versus the bull key 3. The bear key 3, these are the most important indicators kind of mixed together into what I think would be like if you're paying attention to them flipping. We can see we've got more bear key 3s than we do bull key 3s. We've got sell signals at 108, 105, 106. We got big bears. We got small bears. We got all the bears when we look at the price of AMD. If we look at the overall chart, I mean, again, there's nothing. I would have thought that it would have potentially held the gap. I would have thought that potentially it would hold right here at $100, but it seems like we are breaking down even further. Now, I'm not sure if that means that 90 is going to be the support or 95 or 85. I don't know. All I know right now is that the position that you want to have is short because the way that we look at AMD is through the lens of how the data is telling us it's behaving, and the data is telling us that volume is drying up, supply is increasing, demand is drying up. It doesn't look like anybody wants anything to do with this, and unfortunately for this, volatility is just about to break out. Volatility is about to break out, and correlation has actually gone positive. Actually, since correlation is positive, I would actually like to see volatility break out because that would actually tell me the reverse is about to happen of everything I've just said, where we're about to get like some sort of like gap higher, where we go from here to like here. You know, if we gapped essentially from like 95 to like, let's say even 105, you would see a complete reversal and probably a complete trend change in that overall market because it would make people pay attention. It would make momentum show up back into the market. When we look at what we have here in the trade range, things look relatively ugly. The only thing that might be positive is that you think that the run up that we had into the middle of June essentially has worn itself out in the weekly. And the bottom here being at 85, again, 85 is coming up, could still make us turn and go back up to 135. Now on the daily, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel ugly. It's going to feel like the world is falling and there is no more opportunity for us. But that doesn't mean that long term something won't be very positive for AMD. It just means right now you do not want to be layering into it unless you truly believe in the long term. You're an investor that's completely different than a trader. Traders are different than investors. You need to know that. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long or are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We give you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. Stocks between $5 and $20. Stocks breaking out to 1-year highs. Stocks breaking out to all-time highs. It is a great list to get your trading week started. I'll talk to you soon.